Hi there. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. I should really have an intro for this. I'll just say, welcome to Munacast. This is a podcast I do when I feel like it, and about fucking movies and shit. Which is actually a lie, because I don't feel like doing. I really did not feel like doing it to this. That's probably a good fucking way to start this. I did not want to do it today, but I think I really need to be more consistent with these. So I'm just gonna fucking do it. I think I just need to have a co-host because I don't know if I'm too fucking retarded to do this on my own. So, but I do have some stuff lined up for today. Um, uh, First off, in terms of movie related shit, I guess for some fucking reason I've been arguing with people all day today about I Saw the TV Glow, that fucking movie where apparently I'm a fucking retard because I think that Justice Smith's character is trans, and people are saying I'm like mentally ill for thinking that was intentional by the filmmaker. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like he's in a dress. The fucking character in the show that he's supposed to be is female. Like, why am I like I seriously did not think this was a fucking contentious opinion to have. I mean, I thought the contentious opinion I had was that the movie is basically saying that being trans is a delusion to cope with being a shitty, failed person in a dead end job. I thought that was a controversial thing I said, but apparently it's just like me thinking that's like has anything to do with being trans. Like, okay, fuck it, whatever. Um. Oh, I do have a spiel for today. That's gonna probably be the bulk of the episode, but um, I'll have some. I got a couple of news things first. Let me just get that out of the way real quick. Okay, so I saw this like today. I saw this like a few hours ago. So, Lee Cronin's The Mummy just came out. By the way, Red Letter Media did an episode of Half in a Bag on it, and I was gonna say, I think it was last episode. I was gonna say, or I was gonna do an episode last week, but I didn't because I was fucking lazy. Because I was off my meds, so I was like going through horrific withdrawals and losing my mind for several days. But besides that, they really need to stop fucking having Jack Quaid on Best of the Worst. Like, I cannot stand that fucker anymore. Like, I'm not the only person who believes this, but like, holy shit, they need like he just like kills the vibe. So it's like having a woman on a podcast. He just does not fucking belong there. Am I okay? Just making sure I'm not muted. Like, I swear to God, if I were them, I would make him sit down and watch Star Whackers. That would be good content. Forcing this fuck ass to sit down and watch his uncle wander around the desert with his dick hanging out, literally quoting Falstaff. I want to. If I was Red Letter Media and I had celebrities clawing their ways into my life, I would take that as an opportunity to utterly debase them, and they have squandered that opportunity. Anyway, I'm just so sick of the Quaidlet at this point. But anyway, so I don't give a shit at all about this movie. I watched Evil Dead Rise and I actually liked it when I saw it. And when this movie came out and it kept saying Lee Cronin's The Mummy, I'm like, who the fuck is Lee Cronin? And it's the same guy. And it's like, I watched his fucking movie. And I had no idea that he had anything to do with this. I'm assuming it's because it's some kind of rights thing. That's why he ain't no James Cameron, so I knew that wasn't why his name was in the fucking title. But okay, so apparently some Muslim woman's mad about the poster. And by some Muslim woman, I mean Samira Ahmed, who I've never heard of before. But apparently she is the fiance of Tom Hiddleston. And of course, I wouldn't fucking know that, but I have no idea who this bitch is. And she made us think about this poster. And she's whining about how scary and graphic it is. And so she made a change.org petition. And I saw this on Instagram, so I didn't read the articles on it. But what does she say? Okay. As a mother and global children's rights advocate, I am deeply disturbed by a film poster circulating across the UK for The Mummy. That's not the title, it's Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Produced by Blumhouse Productions, Atomic Monster, and New Line Cinema, that graphically depicts the corpse of a child, which it does not. Such imagery is not only distressing but contributes to a broader culture of oh my fucking god. Desensitization and dehumanization when it comes to violence against children, which there kind of is, to be fair. There is kind of a there is something to that, but this is not indicative of it. This dangerous normalization allows for the continued abuse of mistreatment of children worldwide, often with little consequence for those responsible. Okay, so I thought this was because of, like, Gaza, that she's like, oh, there's, like, dead children, like, being killed, which is happening, that's happened everywhere through all of human history, but apparently it's something to do with child abuse. Therefore, okay, she's just asking it for to take down places in the UK. And it's also yes, Zowie. Wait, no, it was her and some other, like, homosexual. I don't know who is. Okay, now this is the here's the fun part. This image is utterly terrifying. It doesn't matter if it's for a movie or not. It depicts a dead child in a coffin. This should not be encouraged to be our new quote-unquote normal. The fact this was thought through and agreed upon, where there are countless children being slaughtered across the globe, is abhorrent, unacceptable, inauspicious, and shameful. For this to be placed where children can see it is oh my fucking god. Can see it is unacceptable, especially as children will now have nightmares because of this. And it's all, by the way, it's Elizabeth 𝐿𝐶𝐬𝐤𝐬. Okay, so that's an Indian woman. I think Aaron. Is there more? Can I see more list of names? It's like exclusively women, like Muslim women, who are doing this. There's only 4 comments? There was a lot of comments on the Instagram post she made, what I got recommended, but this reminds me a lot about a story from a few. When was this? Unfortunately, I had to go to the Times of India, but this was okay. This was like Halloween of last year. So this Palestinian woman is in Canada, and she like had a fucking meltdown about someone's Halloween decorations. And she's like screaming about "fuck you, white people, fuck you, Westerners," and I don't know what the fuck is going off her face. I guess like maybe this whole thing is just like letting me know. Okay, I get why y'all don't let your women speak in public. So I guess maybe this is from a previous incident where she said some dumb shit in public, and her husband corrected her. But I mean, the justification for this is that, oh, she's from Gaza, she has trauma. It's like, okay, so I guess in that case, maybe I don't see how a fucking plastic skeleton should really bother her. I keep seeing this shit. It was like I remember after George Floyd, there was like some fucking article about like whether or not people should use emojis that correspond to their skin color or not. And it's like, you know, that if you were like call that person out on like a bunch of just like retarded bullshit was like all over social media in 2020. And it's like, if you were to call any, like, point out how fucking stupid and gay it is to complain about something like that, they will respond to, well, black people are being shot by police. I'm like, yeah, so why the fuck are you complaining about emojis? Don't you think I should take a little bit of precedent or a little bit of priority over it? God, I really have a way of words, don't I? So I saw that apparently it's really, like, the poster is really controversial in both the UK and also Indonesia. So I guess 2 very culturally similar places at this point. But let me see if I can sign it. Let me move OBS out of the way. Oh my god, I did full screen. I'm gonna cut my dick off. Hold on. Okay. What's a funny first name? Pretty. Oh shit! I just doxed myself. Well, that's fine. Okay. What's a funny sing email? Oh fuck! I had to do an email. God damn it. Okay, I thought I could leave a comment. Okay, never mind. I'm not even gonna bother doing this then. If I can't leave a comment, there's no fucking point in doing this. All right. Go fuck yourself. I think I'm just like the real lesson I'm taking away from this is that if you're like one of those leftists who are really into horror and like you're having satanic imagery to trigger Christians, and are really obsessed with Halloween and Fangoria and that kind of shit, I got some bad news for you when it comes to uh exhibiting your hobby and passions in public in the coming decades. But all right, next story. This is also infuriating. Okay, I gotta make a confession. A few years ago, I started work on a spec script for a Bloodborne adaptation. I didn't really seriously dedicate myself to it because I would rather spend that time putting it to like my own original ideas. But it's like I thought like, okay, if I had to make a movie off of any IP, this is like the one thing I care about, because I want to make a Bloodborne movie before some other faggot does before I do, to get to it first, basically. And obviously that I got beaten to the punch. And not only is it by Sony, so this is gonna be a Bloodborne movie that looks like Spider-Verse and K-pop Demon Hunters. So already this is certified Troon slop, but apparently, where does it say? Does it not say anything about it? It says nothing about Jacksepticeye, of course. Hold on. Hansen 42 West. There's no director attached yet. Okay, this is a Variety article. It says no. Wait, oh, Sean McLaughlin. Okay, yeah. Okay, there we go. Lyrical animation. Oh god. Is that the fucking Spider-Verse? Lyrical animation. Producing films as Bruiser, How to Blow Up a Pipeline, and Mother Couch. I've heard of How to Blow Up a Pipeline. What the fuck is Bruiser? Okay, it's some Hulu slop. I have no idea what the fuck this is. I thought this was an animation thing. Okay, so they're doing their own. Okay. Hell Followed With Us. Oh, that's to be announced. Okay, they're also doing that Death Stranding thing. All right. So who gives a fuck? But okay, so this is gonna tie into my spiel that I'm gonna get into in a second. But when I've been saying for a few years now that a big problem with the film making cinema community, whatever you want to call it, is that there isn't any new blood coming in. Because in the past, you had people who were poets and painters from all different kinds of creative backgrounds coming in to film to become filmmakers, like David Lynch. He studied painting. He also was a musician and poet and all these other things. He came to cinema because he was just a naturally creative person. Another example is Peter Greenaway, who was also studied as a painter. And one of my personal favorites is Shoji Tadayama, who is a avant-garde theater guy and also a poet and may or may not be a pedophile, but that's a different story. He was probably pretty fucked up in the head, but my point is that creative people were attracted to film because as a medium, not as a cultural institution. And now I was thinking that, okay, so I wanted people who were not filmmakers to become interested in filmmaking, and I guess I'm getting my wish. The problem is the monkey's paw curled, and it seems like the only the new blood coming into film is Let's Players with Jacksepticeye and fucking Markiplier. So that's fucking great. But let me here. I will. Oh, the intro song. Okay, it's still muted. Okay, let me sort of flesh out what I meant. I think didn't Timothy Chalamet. I don't keep up with any of this, even though I have a podcast about it. But didn't he like say something about ballet that pissed people off? But I think the gist of his point was that ballet is a very niche has a very niche interest. Like the average person is not seriously engaging with ballet as an art form. And people got mad at him, even though I think because he's suggesting that film is going in that direction, and I think he's right. Um, I wrote an essay and published it in my university about a couple of years ago that said basically the same thing. But I compared it to theater because with theater, the people who not just the people who consume, like who go to plays, who go to broad, because like that's different. The people who actually dedicate their lives to theater is very small, and a lot of these people are cut from the same cloth. And and you know exactly what I mean by that. And film is going in that direction because film is no longer the cultural monolith that it once was in the 20th century. In the past, like I said, like in the 20th century, you had like creative people who did not like who just had things to say, and they went to film to as a means of communicating these ideas that already existed within them. Now, I seriously think, as someone who's briefly been to film school, I transferred out. Um, I can say with confidence that a scary amount of young people who are aspiring to be filmmakers, I seriously think if you were to sit them down and interrogate them, like at least 1 in 5, their chief their chief motivation to becoming a filmmaker is so one day they can make a Batman movie. I think that is it. I think people they want to they don't really have anything. They don't really have ideas. They're not wanting to push the medium forward or experiment, which is not necessary. I mean, it is a bad thing, but I'll I'll be nice and say that that's not inherently a bad thing. But I think it's just like they don't really know what they. I understand that they're young and they probably don't know what they want to do yet. I mean, I've changed a lot since got into school, the university in 2019. But I mean, I regularly see like 50-year-old men who still seem equally as aimless. I don't like someone like Guillermo del Toro, who's like, how fucking old is he? Let me look him up. 1964, so he's what? Oh my god, I can't do the fucking math in my head. He is 61. This motherfucker is 61. He has came in a vagina, and out of it came life. At least how many kids does he have? Kidnapping? What? Oh, his dad got kidnapped. That's right. So he has 2 children with his first wife. Okay, so he only has 2 kids, I think. Okay. So my point is that this guy is sick. He is like most of his life is over. Like he's he's had all these adult experiences, and he has not evolved at all as an artist in the last 30 fucking years, and he still makes the kind of films he would want to make when he was like 12. And he's not the only example of this, but I'm just like baffled that so many fucking people in this industry are just like they just like, oh, I just want to make my version of XYZ. Even if they don't like have to. Like he does not have to do a Frankenstein movie. He can make whatever the fuck he wants, but like he just has to make another fucking goddamn Frankenstein movie, and it's exactly what you think it would be. And it's redundant cuz he's basically made Frankenstein movies like 3 times by now. But fuck it, I guess. But I'm just saying that that kind of attitude, that kind of ethos is just on every single level of this area of interest. And I think it's going to really cause the medium to stagnate because no one who is actually creative is going to be interested in entering it. Like, because, I mean, as someone who's very online, I can tell you, there really is not a shortage of creative people like who are active today. Not at all. They're just not filmmakers. They're anything but. There's a lot of people, like, they're game developers, they're musicians, they're animators, there's like everything else you could possibly think of besides live action feature filmmaking. And I don't really blame them, because why the fuck would you try to enter an industry that's like this fucking dead? And there's like people I really don't understand how like someone my age could even really want to be a filmmaker, because like in the past 20 years they haven't given us a fucking reason to care about it. That's why I watch everything I watched came out fucking 50 years ago. Hold on. So it's like if they want, and they're like the producers, the studios are freaking out because it's like no one gives a shit about movies anymore. It's like besides like the same like group of people who will watch fucking anything, who will watch fucking anything A24 puts out, and in a few years that's the only people who are going to make movies is those people. It's either that and like so the future is it's going to be like film bros who want to make Batman movies, and it's going to be the daughters of billionaires who are going to make book talk smut like fucking Emerald Fennell and Chloe Zhao. So that's like that's the trajectory we're going into. And I would rather have AI just take over the fucking film industry at that point. So, but that, I mean, it's not going to change, I don't think, unless like it really has to have something that's unprecedented, something that you can't really predict has to happen for there to really be a renaissance of like actually creative people who aren't like it's this. Wow, that's, you know what? Here's a good example. It's like how in the past they say like, oh, your local blacksmith, if he like climbed the ladder, he could eventually run for president, and that's just not true anymore. That like the people who like it's exclusively in democracies who are comprise our political class. They're all people who are born in power, who are or actively seeking power for its own sake. That's kind of like the same thing going on here. It's like it's not anyone who it's not. You're not having genuinely creative people who are entering the film industry. It's the same stock coming in who are all influenced by the same like handful of directors who have the same aesthetic and philosophical, political, whatever perspectives and sensibilities, and it sort of like incentivizes it, the industry or the medium, whatever you want to call it, of keeping actual fresh meat out. And I think, I mean, it is partially by design, but I think it's just like how it's going to be from now on. And so like less and less people are going to care about movies, and even fewer people are going to be interested in even making them. I seriously think that millennials are going to be the overwhelming majority of filmmakers in the foreseeable future. Like I don't see a lot of people my age who are like Gen Z. I don't really see a lot of them becoming filmmakers. Maybe like there's probably a few. I cannot fucking see anyone who is like out like Generation Alpha, like growing up wanting to be a feature film director. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, but that kind of is related. How it seems like the exception to the rule right now is for some fucking reason Let's Players, and I guess that's gonna be the new fucking trend, I guess. But okay. All right. Before I talk more about, sorry, I was doing some quick research. Did he get his God, I can't. I can't fucking stand him anymore. Okay, Guillermo del Toro. Oh, look. He's being heckin' ableist right here. He's like mocking the disabled with this wax figure. What a sick fuck. Del Toro. Oh my god, the fucking lens. I'm sorry. This guy is a really, really good director to be into when you're 14 years old and you're just like discovering real movies, and that's it. I mean, I can say that from like my perspective because I mean, it was when I was first getting into movies, it was like him and Kurosawa, Tarkovsky. I mean, I still think those two are much, much, much superior. Trying to think of what other directors. I was into Tarsem Singh because of The Fall, but I didn't really like any of his other movies besides that one. Kubrick, yeah, I was my favorite movie at that time was 2001. Oh, Terry Gilliam. Yeah, it's him and Terry Gilliam. Those are the two directors that like are for 14-year-olds. Cuz I tried Hold on. God, when was the last time I watched a Terry Gilliam movie? I watched The Zero Theorem like a year ago, and that was not good in my opinion. Like it looked bad, even though I don't know, there's something. It just looked really the way he shot. The way he shot it just like highlighted its lower budget. And I remember I watched the documentary Lost in La Mancha about his Don Quixote movie that never got made. And then when it finally came out, I did not give a shit about it, and I don't think anyone really did. So I just feel like that was like a whole like kind of waste of time on the. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of the case of a lot of things. Is that like there's sort of like a window where you can make something. It's like if there's a very famous unmade script called the Tourist, and it's basically cruising with aliens. It's a sick concept. H.R. Giger did concept art for it. Let me pull it up actually. I don't know if I can show it because it's kind of sus. Yeah. Oh look, yeah, like he did some. He was commissioned to do some character designs for it. Yeah, it was basically it was like an underground like sex bar cult thing for aliens that it's basically like Men in Black where it's like aliens are undercover on Earth. But it's also like I also think of cruising just from the concept. But it's like when was it written? I think it was written in the late 70s and was trying to get rolled out in the early 80s. What was the date on this? 1982. Okay. But my point is that you like the time to make that movie is over. Like that seedy, disgusting like New York underground culture does not exist anymore. It like the effects artists that would have gone into making this are not active anymore. It'll be shot on fucking digital. It just would not. It would just exist in an objectively inferior form if you were to make it today. Like, you know what I mean? And there's like a lot of like if you try to make Jodorowsky's Dune today, that would not work because it's like that movie could have only been made when everyone was on like fucking LSD in the 70s with the technology that they had at the time. Today it would just be like tacky and shitty. So that's like even though like apart. I mean, I do wish this movie got made. Obviously, it's a sick concept. But my point is that like it's like I was just thinking like filmmakers who spend 30 years trying to get something made, and then by the time it comes out, no one gives a shit because it kind of was meant for a different time, and then like whatever gets out is just not. I mean, there's obviously exceptions to that, like Tragedy of Man, which was like in production for forever, and then it came out in 2011. But I mean, I think what's the difference? I guess it's just that it's not particularly tied to a certain decade. It's kind of like with like I talked about last time with Thief and the Cobbler. It was started in the '60s and then it got released in the '90s. And I mean, like to be fair, that's because it was taken away from him, but it was like an objectively inferior version. And even still, it's an inferior version to what Williams would have wanted. And in a way, it's like you kind of have to like get something done within a certain amount of time. You can't just spend decades and decades working on it for the most part, I think. And I don't know. That's just my point to say that Terry Gilliam's fallen off. And I haven't really gone back to anything. I really liked, let's see, I was a big fan of Brazil. And I probably still would like Fear and Loathing. I think that's the one that I would probably like more. I probably would like that. If I were to watch Brazil and Fear and Loathing again, I probably would like that one more, to be honest. I'm trying to think of other movies I watched. Time Bandits, The Fisher King. I watched Jabberwocky recently. I did not like it. I'm trying to think of his fucking filmography. Okay. Oh, Barry Munchausen. I like that one when I watched it years and years ago. 12 Monkeys, Fear and Loathing. Yeah, I think I've seen all of these and the Zero Theorem, but yeah, I don't know. He's like I mean, oh yeah, Jabberwocky. Yeah, Jabberwocky is the one I've seen the most recently. I did not like it, so I'm kind of scared to go back and revisit his stuff because I probably would not. It probably would just kill it for me. I would probably just see like Bing Bing Wahoo, Boomer Redder, fucking energy towards it. So, I think my point is that I think I was at like the right time to be a fan of his. Same thing of Del Toro, and it's like if you're like over the age of 30, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, but okay. I'll talk about some things I watched in the was it 2 weeks or a week and a half? I don't know. But last episode I recorded 3 times because I was like my psyche was shattering. But okay. Alright. So I watched Bill Plimpton's Mutant Aliens because I'm still in my animation binge. This is the second Bill Plimpton feature I've seen. What's the other one? The one's called Idiots and Angels, I believe. And speaking of Terry Gilliam, I don't know if I'm a fan of him. There's like a trying to figure out how to describe the energy of his shit. I think he is a political cartoonist. So that kind of energy permeates throughout his films and not in a good way. But I mean, I don't consider this to be like this is not really political, but it's like that kind of sort of faux cynical boomer, like the boomer nihilism. And this gets like really like weirdly sexual in a way that's off-putting. I think I really don't remember anything about Idiots and Angels, so I think there was some of that, but this was like there's a lot of really weird shit in here that feels kind of overcompensating in a way. I'm not really. I don't know. It's not the movie. It does. The movie is like feels simultaneously feels like it's trying to be edgy, and it is edgy, but it's not as edgy as it thinks it is. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Even though I think it looks nice, obviously, and I like a lot of the character designs. I don't know, there's something that kind of I don't really jive with, but I don't know. I'll still, for some reason, I'll still like watch some of his other shit. He did a movie called The Tune. I think that was his first feature. I'll check that one out. Um, but uh, yeah, I guess that is the best way of describing it. Is that it's like, oh, I guess it's also like it. Yeah, it's like commenting on like consumer. I feel like speaking of like like filmmakers who don't feel like they've grown up. I guess this really is tying into like my thoughts in this. I guess everything's kind of coming together. That's good. But I feel like consumerism and advertising and shit like that, that's like a very, to me, it's like a very juvenile thing to dedicate your art to. Cause I mean, it's just like, man, like companies are like wanting us to buy shit we don't need. I'm like, no shit, retard. Like, I don't know why. Like, I feel like there's so much more to like the human experience than like there's commercials everywhere that get us to buy slop. I don't know. I feel like for someone who's like a fucking 50-year-old man who's still hung up on that, I'm like, what is wrong with you? But I don't know. This was all right. I think I liked a lot. I like the alien designs, like even though they're not really aliens. Spoiler, they're mutants. But I mean, again, I think like he's obviously like talented at drawing. So I just don't really think what he's really saying with his art or his writing or whatever is particularly captivating to me. But so I watched that. I also watched finally, because this was a movie that was in my watch list for about like 9 years, so I wanted to finally get a chance to see it. Was Perfect Blue, and this was not my first Satoshi Kon. I watched Paprika probably like in 2018, so a while ago, and I like this one more than Paprika. And I actually liked it more than I thought I would. I still don't. I still wasn't blown away by it, but I kind of get why people like it so much, at least. Um, I was doing some like reading about it because I didn't really know anything about, because this was his first feature, so I didn't really know anything about its production. I believe this was an OVA that got a theatrical release, and I was pretty surprised when it was an OVA because it looks pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And then again, Angel's Egg and another film I'm talking about. Also, I mean, Angel's Egg looks fantastic, and that was an OVA as well. But I also want to mention I read. I like the music. I like the music a lot in this, even though it was not Susumu Hirasawa who did the rest of his filmography. But it is weird how apparently Susumu's album, Hirasawa's album Sim City was an influence on this. So kind of has his DNA in it somehow. And I mean, if you've listened, like I've already used like 3 of his songs in this podcast, so I'm obviously a huge fan of that. A huge fan of him. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot for me to say about Perfect Blue because it's pretty well known, but I liked it. Another anime I watched was Pupa, directed by, I think it's directed by oh, is it directed by, who's the director? Because there's a lot on his Sayaka Mogi, or is that the manga? Oh, that's the manga. What's his fucking, who's the fucking director on this? It's the creator. Who's the fucking director? Oh my god, Juan. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking cut my dick off. Where? Oh, I forgot to talk about. I was gonna have a critter moment. Talk about a critter I was thinking about. Okay, Tomomi, this fucking asshole. God. Okay. What else did he direct? Ocean Waves. A lot of shit. He must just be like a guy for hire. What was that one about the android that I wanted to watch? Yokohama something. What was it called? Dude, this asshole has done so much shit. Okay, what? Whatever. My point is that like he actually seemed to have some things. He actually seemed to create some things that people like. And this was pretty infamous for just being. I think this is one of the lowest rated series, quote unquote, on my. Oh, okay. Apparently, there's a 3.2 out of 10 on my anime list, according to Brave AI. But I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about it besides the fact, which is a running theme in my movie podcast. But like, this feels like it was like handcrafted to be like every like stereotype about degenerate anime was just thrown into a blender. You have cannibalism, incest. Do I gotta say the rest? And it's like, oh yeah, they're being experimented upon by like the government to be a bioweapon or some fucking shit. It's just like, and it's so like, it's so lazy and short. I genuinely don't even know why they even bothered creating it. So, never deserved to air. I mean, it's not like it's definitely not the most disturbing thing I've seen. Probably, it's just like, it just felt really insipid and pointless. But okay. I've also okay. I also watched this sent me like a couple. I mean, I started watching this a long time ago. Not a long time ago, like a couple weeks ago, but I finally finished this. Giant Robo, The Day the Earth Stood Still. And I have a hard time recommending people this because the name is so fucking stupid. I don't know why, like, every fucking anime ever is named some shit like Basta Robo Boku no Pedophile. It's like, can you fucking like? It's hard to like. It doesn't help because I kept getting this confused with Getter Robo, which has the same fucking director. It's like, can you like name it something else? I guess like Experts of Justice wouldn't have sold well, even though it's more accurate. But I really did not go into this with much expectations, even though apparently has a very, very strong cult following. I didn't really know anything about it going in. But I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of two of the Lupin the Third movies I've seen, which is the Hayao Miyazaki one and the Mystery of Mamo. And it had, I mean, that kind of that tone. It reminded me a lot of it. But yeah, I like know. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I get. I don't know how. I mean, I have no idea how well known it is. Besides like the imagery, I guess. But so I didn't really know anything about like the. I mean, I guess there really isn't anything to know about it because it's intentionally designed to feel like you're entering the middle of a story, like you're watching the final conclusion to a series that never existed. But I never really felt like that hindered anything, or if I felt like I frustrated. I was just confused if it was something that was like I missed that was established earlier in the OVA, or that's just something that they pulled out of their ass. Because I swear to God, in the last 2 episodes, they introduced like 30 new characters, and their names are like Big Gun, who has a crossbow, and Carlitos the Considerate, who can alter the mass of a proton. And there was like 40 new fucking assholes named like that. But apparently there is no context to get with them. But I guess it's not real. I guess it's kind of this kind of proves that you don't really need a lot of exposition if it's like if the characters are like if the characters are charismatic enough and likable. You don't really need to really dedicate too much time to really introducing them. And obviously, it looks fantastic, and I really like the look of it a lot. Oh yeah, it also reminded me of Royal Space Force a bit, the technology. Um, Even though I think that movie looked better, personally. It, that was, I mean, I used the music, the main theme for this episode, but if you have, I mean, I would recommend that one, but like, I guess if you've seen it, you know what my reservation about it is, so I'll leave it at that. But I really, really like this. Oh, I also like the music too. It reminded me a lot of Koichi Sugiyama, who I also used music for this podcast. And okay, all right, I'm doing good on time. I also watched this. I don't. This is a fucking obscure movie. This is how you know you're in for a disappointment. I do. I guess again, man, everything is coming together. I guess a good example of like weird self-indulgent edginess that not self-indulgent, what's like the self-insisting edginess, I guess that's a better way of phrasing it, is a trauma. But so I guess this was made, I mean, obviously there's actors in it, and voice actors. I think it's like mostly made by one person who got distributed by Trauma. It's called Gut Boy, a bad time story, which that subtitle does not help. But it's a marionette movie. I thought it was. I read it was a puppet movie, and I was thinking rod puppets because that is the superior form of puppetry. As a puppet boy myself, but it's marionettes, which I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know why. I don't know why you would make a movie of marionettes that's meant to be like. I guess this is obviously meant to be comedic, but I feel like marionettes do. I'm sorry, they don't. I don't think they look very good, and they seem like a pain in the ass. Personally, I think controlling from below is superior than above because you're not like fighting against gravity in the same way. That's as a puppeteer, that's my personal experience or personal opinion. But the puppets don't really look very good. A lot of them don't have eyes, and I'm not sure why that is. I think they're paper mache. Their character design's not very great. It's not. I mean, it's not funny at all. Oh, there's no. Oh, there's the new Jack dropped. I meant to have this on loop. Yeah, that's like. I feel like when I like am worried about like the state of cinema, and I think of people who are making low budget, like something like this. Like this is like obviously like this is a passion project that is ambitious. So I can't really hate it too much, but I just feel frustrated how it's. I don't know. It feels like it undercuts itself with shitty quote unquote black comedy. By the way, that guy. Damn, he looks exactly like someone I know. That is really fucking. Wait, this was 20 cent. No, yeah, that couldn't. That yeah. I was like, is he fucking related to? He looks just like him. Holy shit. Sorry. I don't know. I feel like it's just like I'm trying to think. It's like it feels conceptually lazy when it doesn't have to be. When it's obviously there was work put into this, but I don't know. I feel like the low budget people who are like doing low budget projects, they're just making like oh, it's low budget and it's trash, so I'm not gonna like really take it seriously. I guess that's the point I'm trying to get at. Is that I don't know, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot with like by making shit like this. How many? One first marionette musical black comedy riddle film. What the fuck does riddle film mean? What the fuck? Oh, it's yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it's like a lot. Like again, I feel like it's like the same kind of people who are making fucking everything. I would like to see something. Wait, I'm curious how many people worked on this. It probably is way more than you would expect. I mean, it has to have more like multiple puppeteers. I just got recommended it on Tubi, to be honest. That's how I found it. Nick Grant, we have writer director. Somehow has 3 producers. All cast and crew. Can I not see it? Composer, makeup department. So swing gang, I'm assuming that is what the fuck does swing gang mean? Because it's not. It would just be puppeteer, right? Yeah, they would just be credited as puppeteers. Why is there a boom? I guess they have like scenes of the giants talking, but like really? Yeah, a lot of people worked on this. I fucking wish. Here, let me see. Here, I wish I had a composer. I wish I had how many fucking voice actors? I wish I had 4 producers, an editor, cinematographer, 2 costume designers for the puppets. What is okay? Let me see if swing gang means anything. Hold on. If it's just hold on. Last minute changes on the film set. Okay. God, that would be fucking helpful for my project. Good lord. When I was doing my first day of shooting on mine, I was literally, what was it, from 3 in the afternoon to 5 in the morning. I was running around doing everything by myself. So I would fucking like to have some swing gangers. Is there any? Yeah, there's nothing about puppeteers, but and this guy, I don't think he did anything beforehand. A couple short. He did short after. Okay, I guess he has some connections, but I feel like I wish this effort could have gone into something a bit better. Sorry, my gecko is right next to me, and I just saw him crawling around, and he scared me. I'm staring at his big fucking nutsack right now. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Hey, I got you. I got you. Here, let me see if you can hear him chirping. Oh. Hey. I don't know if he's chirping right now. On. You can. Oh, he's on the mic. Can you hear it? Oh. Uh-oh. I don't want him to run away. Okay, I'll put you up. I'll put you up. Here. There you go. Okay, I don't know if you heard if you heard him chirp or squeak or whatever. He has a lot of shit in his tank. I need to clean it. I meant to do some cleaning today, but I got fucking distracted. Okay. Okay, let me just talk about. Well, listen, I just want to rant about something completely unrelated before I go. Okay. So, I mean, I keep reptiles. I've had frogs and toads before. I mean, not really, like not like captive bred. I've had them in tanks and released them. But I was looking into what kind of obscure frog that I could possibly own one day. because for some reason I can't have a Pac-Man frog or a white tree frog because I am a contrarian even in my fucking reptile keeping. Besides, I mean, I do own a. That's not really true because I do have a crested gecko, and everyone has a crested gecko. That you just heard him. But I discovered these things. These are called Bruno's cascaded frogs. They are from South America, and they look really fucking cute. There's a problem though. These things have a bunch of spines in their fucking skulls that inject a venom that is 25 times more venomous than a fer-de-lance viper, which is the most venomous snake in the Americas. I don't know fucking why they would even need this. This is the that's a duckbill frog. But they're so fucking cute. Like, they're so fucking cute. And it makes me fucking mad. And I did see, hold on. I did find a video. This is a different species. Yeah, these look more fucked up and weird. But I did okay, I found it. There was this video I found of like this Russian woman just holding one. Like it was any other frog. I'm like, what are you doing, lady? I don't know if I can find it. But okay, if I were to get like a fat, I typically prefer tree frogs to like these like fat like retarded hole dwelling ones. But I really like these ones, the Bojet's frogs. I actually, if I were to get an obscure one, what are they called? Hyroractus. So I don't know. I can't fucking type on my own keyboard. Yeah, I like these guys a lot. They're I guess they're also called cascaded tree frogs. Casque just means helmet. But what are these called? The Sumako horn frog? Yeah, Sumako horn tree frog. I like these guys a lot. And I'm curious. Let me make sure here. Let me just read to make sure they don't have some kind of horrific neurotoxin. I don't think they do. Oh my god. Okay. Behavior, conservation. They willingly bite. Apparently, their bite hurts, but I don't think it will kill you. Okay. I don't think you. I mean, I don't think you could own. I don't think these are in the pet trade, but in terms of like if I were to own a weird exotic frog, I would like these guys. Does anyone have a Suriname toad as a pet? Can I fucking type today? Good God. Okay. I mean, besides like when they don't have their babies, they're just kind of. I've seen people like I saw a Mata Mata at a reptile expo. I don't know if you. They're. I don't think they're really that exciting for pets. Here, what's like the weird? What's like the one? Just trying to think of like what's like a weird fucking like I'm trying to think of like alternative frogs. Oh, like the Vietnamese mossy frogs are really cute, but those might be pretty easy to take care of. I want like a frog that nobody's ever seen. I like sugar gliders a lot. Oh, what were they called? The turtle frogs. I like these guys a lot. Yeah, I don't. Oh, they're very rare. But I was thinking of these ones, like the eggplant looking ones. I forgot what these are called. But these guys are really cute. Can you? I wonder. Can you get a Titicaca frog? Bro, I'm typing like Jeffrey Epstein today. Holy shit. Can you get these guys? These guys are cool, even though they look like ball sacks. I like their. I just realized their eyes are like weirdly anthropomorphic. These guys are These guys are neat. Their saggy skin is because they live in a kind of dead lake, so they need to extract more oxygen from the water. So they have more surface area on their bodies. Okay. I think that's enough of frogs. So I got it to an hour. So, okay. I will next, not this weekend, the next weekend is going to be, or this upcoming weekend. That's not the last one of April. In May, I'm gonna start doing my chronological marathon. So I don't know. I've been having an issue coming up with shit to say about things I've watched. I watched a ton of, I've watched like a lot of shit since the last episode. They're mostly shorts though, so I don't really have a ton to say. But maybe I need to find ways to like torture myself and get more content out of my. Yeah, look at their eyes. Sorry, Oh, you know what that reminds me of? People say they are into Labu. That's not what I wanted, Juan. Fucking hell. Oh, no. It doesn't look like this. It looks like this. Hold on. Yeah, they look like this fucking thing. Okay, so I watched this as a kid. Because I was really into like plesiosaurs and the Water Horse movie. I remember this was at Blockbuster. But I swear to God, I watched this again like more recently, like within the past 10 years. But I cannot find any evidence that I have done so. So I this movie kind of has like a weird like effect on me. But maybe I should watch that. The giant water pack shot. What the fuck does pack shot mean? I don't like that. But how much does the DVD going for? Oh, the UK. By the way, when I was talking about the petition, I should have made my position clear that I believe that the United Kingdom should become a leper colony for the rest of time, and it should just succumb to whatever, like a flesh-eating virus, and then sink below the waves because they're just like the most pathetic, weak fucking country that has ever existed. I just wanted to make that really clear before I check the price on the DVD of the water giant Mishi. £3.20. That's probably $85 in the United States. Okay. All right. I will leave you with that. Bye.
From his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast, the ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking, all were digging the sounds. Igor on chains, backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker Five. They played the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. they played the Monster Mash. Out from his coffin, Drax's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist?" It's now the Monster Mash, and it's a graveyard smash. It's caught on in a flash. It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool, Drax a part of the band, and my Monster Mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you. Then you can Monster Mash and do my graveyard smash. You'll catch on in a flash. Then you can Monster Mash.